I tell people I can write an insurance policy, a life insurance policy, when your baby is 15 days old.
Oh, really?
Through Southern Farm Bureau, which is our life company.
15 days old.
15 days old. And guess what? Most of the time, you are healthy. And so not only you're getting a policy for a 15-day old baby, that's going to be the cheapest, the lowest that premium will ever be. Plus, it's never going to change. It's never going to go up.
What's up, Camden County? You are catching the 45th episode of the Getting in Your Business podcast. I'm your host, Alison Shores of the Camden County Chamber of Commerce. This Getting in Your Business podcast has been made possible by our Chairman Circle sponsors, Georgia's Own Credit Union, Comcast Business, Georgia Power Company, Sparklight, Plug Power, St. Mary's DDA, TDS Telecom, Ameris Bank, and Lockheed. Thank you to all of our Chairman Circle sponsors. All right, guys, I have somebody I'm so excited to talk to today in the studio. I've got Whitney Passmore from Camden County Farm Bureau. Thank you, Whitney, for being here. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Thank you for having me.
So before we get into all things Farm Bureau and insurance and all the stuff that I don't speak well about, so let's get to know you. I want people to get to know you because you're kind of new to our community. So let's get to know Whitney. Where are you from? How did you get here? All those things.
Yes, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me, of course. And I am from Leesburg, Georgia.
Okay.
If you don't know where that is.
I was about to say, is that like Albany area?
It's right above Albany, just north of Albany, the neighboring county. And Luke Bryan's from Leesburg. I'm sorry. Philip Phillips is from Leesburg. Buster Posey.
There's a lot of famous people from Leesburg.
Lots of famous people. And that's where I graduated many years ago. Moved there.
So you're a small town girl too?
Yep.
Okay. I love this.
Small town.
So were you were already doing Farm Bureau in well, let me see, where was it?
Albany.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you came here.
I did.
And you took over our Farm Bureau here in Camden County. Now, I'm going to tell you, I know a little bit about Farm Bureau, but very, very little. And one thing that I loved about you is when we first met, I think at a business after hours, we talked. I talked to you and your husband. You are so sweet. And then you came back in and you really let me get to know you. And what I loved, what you said first, like you love like shopping small. And you know that I was like, oh my gosh, this girl's my best friend. Let me tell you about all of our boutiques. You had already been there. You had already been to the boutiques and like tried to keep all of your money here. And I was like, yes. So I love that you love our community already. What's your favorite things so far?
Absolutely the people. The people.
Right.
My clients, of course, coming here, taking the job. May will be a year since I've been here.
Yes.
First. When I started as the agency manager for the Camden County Farm Bureau in Kingsland. The clients are unbelievable. They are as nice as they can be, kind. Everyone's been so kind because the transition was a lot.
I can imagine.
Picking up and moving my family a little bit over 3 hours away.
Yeah.
Leaving my mother, friends, my church. So it was a transition, but they certainly made that so much better.
Yes. And you've already gotten involved, like you're doing stuff in our community. I think I saw that you were sponsoring like the football team, the wrestling team, but you're also doing stuff in your little neighborhood, like, you know, participating. I think you were doing a fashion show or something. And I love that. I love that you've gotten here and gotten plugged in and connected. And that is amazing. And I wish more people would do that. Like we have things here. We have such a great place here. Come talk to us at the chamber. You know, we'll get you connected. And I just love how you've just jumped in and gotten involved. You and your husband. He actually works with you. He is an adjuster, correct? Did I get that right?
So he does work with Farm Bureau. He actually was the main reason I started with Farm Bureau just a little over 4 years ago. He's been with Farm Bureau 9, I believe, but in the insurance field for a long, long time. He is an adjuster on the claim side. So, as he will put it, he's the one that no one wants to see because they
Well,
have to file a claim.
Well, I hear you say that, but one thing I hear a lot in town especially when things go wrong, I hear about how things go. And so one thing that I've always heard about Farm Bureau is that on the claim side, it's so easy, or at least it makes people feel like a sigh of relief. And I don't know, why do you think that is?
It's truly the way that we shine is through our claims department. Of course, the agent.
I was about to say, I think that comes down to people because people are so, I don't know. It can be a terrible experience, but if the person that I'm working with cared and showed that money wasn't all that was important, that they cared about me, like I'm all about
So,
that.
whether it's your vehicle, you've gotten into an accident or something terrible's happened, a devastating storm, such as the recent
Yes.
hurricane that
Mm-hmm.
came through last year that devastated many parts
Mm-hmm.
of Georgia. Thankfully, it wasn't quite as bad here, but certainly devastating. Or, God forbid, but a house fire, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Something terrible has happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating. Your life's been turned upside down.
Mm-hmm.
If you've gotten into an accident and auto accident, it's not your fault. Then of course you're mad.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your vehicle's a total loss.
Right.
And so just the kindness of our adjusters.
Mm-hmm. And the experience, like
And
you were saying, your husband's got tons of experience. I think when we were talking off air, it was like 13 years or something before he came to Farm Bureau. So I know we skipped right to claims. I'm sorry, I went to your husband being an adjuster, but I do want to talk about what are the things that Farm Bureau offers, because what is it?
Yeah, so a lot of people think that Farm Bureau can only sell farm policies, and that is absolutely not true.
Because we see the commercials and stuff, and it's all, farming and agriculture and all these things, which I love their commercials. But it's just, I want to get to the bottom of, do you have to be a farmer to be with Farm Bureau?
You absolutely do not. Farm Bureau started a little bit over 85 years ago. We're the only insurance company with Georgia in our name.
Mm-hmm.
We can offer every line of insurance.
So that's like
other
home, auto. Okay.
Any other insurance companies can.
Okay.
Home, auto, life, of course, business, commercial, general liability, farm, of course.
Yeah.
But we also, Farm Bureau has a bank, Farm Bureau Bank.
Mm-hmm.
And because they don't have a brick and mortar anywhere in the state, because they're headquartered actually in Texas, the agent handles the banking needs that you may have. So your insurance agent can also handle your banking. And they offer all bank products that other banks do, loans, credit cards, CDs, certificates of deposit.
All of that.
All of that.
Okay.
And it can all be done right there in the office with your agent.
And now I know we were talking off air, and then so it's divided up into two. So you've got the insurance side, and then you've got the federation side.
That's right.
So on the federation side, money goes to like advocate, lobby to really help out the farmers, the agricultural industry, because I think especially here, like the state of Georgia is a huge I don't want to say farming community, because I don't know if that's the right word, but we have a lot of the agricultural industry here in Georgia.
Absolutely. So farming is Georgia's number one industry.
Yes.
So yes, everything.
Yes.
What we eat, what we wear.
Like seriously. And I was just thinking, like, we even have farms, we have so many farms here. Like if I started, I know, we've got Vicuna farms, we've got Merck farms, we've got farms here. There's so many more that I'm not even mentioning, but like, And I love that we have you pick farms. You can go out there and pick your own stuff. I love it. But it's huge here. So, but I think people kind of, I guess they're maybe, misinformed about, like, you don't have to be a farmer, that about what you guys do, that it just goes into farming. It just, yes, that's a big piece because that is big to what we do in Georgia. However, we also can get business. I mean, I had no idea that you did business and commercial and that kind of stuff. That's huge. Okay.
We do it all. So I, of course, work for Farm Bureau. I'm captive to Farm Bureau, but if there is a type of insurance, a line of insurance that we may not be as competitive, or we might not be in the market for per se, especially here for coastal. We do have brokerage companies that we can, that I've been appointed, and then my other agent in the office has been appointed to look to find something, to meet their need, whoever, whatever that may be. So
I love it. Now you've been in Camden County for almost a year. You said May will be a year. So what is your, like, if you had one line of, is it line? Is that what you said? Lines? See, I almost said product. No, well, okay. So if there's one line that's like your favorite, like, line to actually, do, what would it be?
My most favorite, what I get the most excited about, what I try to promote the most, and certainly drive the people that know me well about, is life insurance.
And why is that so important to you?
So, for obvious reasons, you are helping to insure someone's life, someone you love's life.
Yeah.
And the sooner you do that, the better, because you never know what could happen.
None of us are promised tomorrow.
You never know. So I'm particularly passionate about it. I actually lost my dad back in May of 22.
I'm sorry.
And thank you. And, he and my mom had been married 47 years at that time, 46 years. And they didn't have a whole lot of debt, but both were retired. And so things were in a little bit of a certainly different season in life.
Absolutely.
They were in. Of course, that's not always the case. He did pass away unexpectedly. And when we went to the funeral home to plan his funeral, or his celebration of life, my mom actually brought the life insurance policy with her. And instead of my mother having to write a check to the funeral home, she handed over the insurance policy to the funeral home. And the funeral director looked at my mother and just said, "We'll take it from here."
Wow. And made it easy.
And it made it so easy. You're already devastated. You've lost someone you love. Many times you see GoFundMe pages set up.
And what happens when the breadwinner of the family, something tragic happens, and you're not prepared, because life these days is crazy, it's moving fast, and
you never know. And so I tell people, I can write an insurance policy, a life insurance policy, when your baby is 15 days old.
Oh, really?
Through Southern Farm Bureau, which is our life company.
15 days old.
15 days old. And guess what? Most of the time, you are healthy. And so not only you're getting a policy for a 15-day old baby, that's going to be the cheapest, the lowest that premium will ever be. Plus, it's never going to change. It's never going to go up.
Wow.
So you are insuring that baby when in 10 years could come down with some terminal illness, or 20 years or 30 years. And so getting it when they're young,
that's when you should do it.
That's when you absolutely should do it. Yes, people get life insurance through their jobs, right?
Yeah, some.
Most of the time you hear that. And that's great. until you get laid off or you retire or you change jobs.
Yeah.
You most of the time cannot take it with you.
I was about to say, you lose it.
You lose it. So it's important to have something else in place that you own, because you don't own that policy that your company has on you.
And I think too, insurance, we think about that's just one more payment that we have to make, but it's about planning for the future, and it's about making sure that things are set up for when you're not here or your spouse is not here or whatever it is. But I think that too, insurance is like, well, I'm paying for something in case something happens. And I think people in their minds think it's so expensive. And yeah, it can be. It can be super expensive, but not everything that you have is not you in just like insurance in general. It's not all expensive. And when you have somebody that's personally looking out for you, I just think that what a special touch, and it makes a huge difference. You're not just, sometimes when you're working with insurance companies, I personally feel like sometimes we're all just a bunch of cattle that they're herding over here and herding over. I'm not a special person. And so I think with some of, with Farm Bureau, I feel the personal touch, and I will say this: there are a lot of insurance companies that I do feel the personal touch, but I definitely felt it with you, and I think that that's important. That you care about me, and so especially in Camden County, we have special people here, and when I say that, I mean they are just salt of the earth, great, hardworking people, and I'm just so happy that you recognize that, you see it, and you want to be a part of it, and you want to help us. And so I'm so thankful that you're here. Now on the business side of things, like, so you literally can be a one-stop shop.
Absolutely.
Like, especially with the banking side of things, like that's really cool. Now, is it something that you pay a membership into?
So with Farm Bureau, you do have to be a member. And as you mentioned, there's two sides to Farm Bureau. There's Federation, which is our nonprofit that promotes farmers, agriculture, the biggest industry in Georgia. And then there's, of course, the insurance side that offers all the different lines of insurance for our clients. You don't have to get insurance through us, but you do have to have a membership to get insurance.
Gotcha.
We have members that don't have insurance with us. There's a lot that comes with that. There's benefits that come with that. But, it's important to say it's a small amount a year. It's $30.
I was about to say, let me just say that it's not expensive.
It's not.
We aren't talking about hundreds of dollars.
It's a year, and a large percentage of that goes back into the county in which you're a member of. So with that being said,
I was about to say, I love
there is a county office, a Farm Bureau office in every county in Georgia.
Okay.
As an agent, I can write insurance for anybody in the state of Georgia, regardless of where you live. I'm licensed in Georgia. But the membership fee, I guess, dues, whatever you want to call it, that you pay goes directly back into the county that you paid it into. And it goes back into, last week was Ag Week.
Yeah.
So our office manager, Ashley, spent so much time creating these little baggies that had all kinds of information, particularly for probably elementary grade level.
Yeah.
And we delivered these baggies around town.
I love that.
And so it's to support, to promote, advocate farming. And so much is tied under kind of the agriculture umbrella. Yes, farmers, but there's so much more that goes with that. Teaching people, of course, one of our board members is the FFA.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You and Tyler have already connected, and so you're already going to be involved with our local FFA group here.
And it's actually a shout out to them, but today, and tomorrow, they're having a plant sale. So
Oh,
they're
yes.
cool.
I can't tell you how many ferns and stuff I've gotten from them. Yeah, I love it.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know if people know they do that, but they do. Mm-hmm.
I try to promote it on Facebook,
Yeah.
and the other social media outlets. But with that being said, there's so much that goes with agriculture, and I can't even say what that is. I spoke to a client recently, and he's looking to do a new venture,
Yeah.
and he'll be an oyster farmer.
Like there's, and that I'm glad you said that because I mean, there's all kinds.
People don't think.
They don't think, and we're in such a unique location where unique farming can happen. I say unique farming. I don't even know if that's a thing, but you know what I'm like. Not your typical just
Cotton,
land.
cows,
Yeah, yes, it's not
beef,
just that. So I think,
chickens.
and I just think that is so neat and so cool. And I'm so glad that we're on the forefront of all that stuff.
And that's huge opportunity to bring more
Yes.
into Camden County, more money.
And
more
I think too, people
resources.
are probably more now than ever so concerned with what they are consuming as far as food goes.
Absolutely.
The whole "Make America Healthy Again" thing is out, and it's. I mean, people are starting to look at what's going on into our processed food and stuff. So, I'm so happy that we live in this part where we take farming seriously. We're getting great food, all the things. We've got some great like farm to family there down in St. Mary's. We've got one that's going to open up in Kingsland hopefully soon. Just a lot of like those things where we can actually get our local produce and stuff, and even from areas around us. So we're just in a very unique place, and I would think that people would want to protect that. So being with Farm Bureau is a great way to do that because you've got people in place that know how to advocate for agriculture, and know how to do that. And so the small little fee is just a little way to help with that, becoming a member of Farm Bureau.
That's right.
I think we as people need to stand up and start protecting our farmers too, because we could lose it.
Well, and the president of Farm Bureau, Georgia Farm Bureau, he actually spearheaded the disaster relief for farmers,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
particularly for farmers in Georgia. He, of course, is a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
The president of Camden County Farm Bureau is a farmer, Bob Murray.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important, and it's everything we do. I mean, timber, furniture, our clothing, our food, of course. So it's so incredibly important. But Farm Bureau alone was able to raise, the goal was $1 million of monies that would be donated to Georgia farmers. We ended up raising like 1.6 million.
Wow.
And that was just Georgia, through Georgia Farm Bureau, that was able to go back into Georgia to help our farmers with the huge disaster that we had.
Well, I just think
Hurricane Helene.
Well, I don't think people understand. Like, if a farmer has a disaster, it could ruin his entire crop, and like, you know what I'm saying. And you're losing that. That's their way of life. That is, you know what I'm saying. Like, that is their livelihood. So, the things that go into, I couldn't imagine my life depending on the weather. And, so it's just wild and crazy. And I hope people will take the time to kind of look at Farm Bureau and see what they're doing. I do feel like our farms are very important. And I know that it goes past farming and agriculture, and we've said that, but, I do want people to realize that it's still important, So,
and what we're doing is special, and the company.
And y'all have been doing it for a long time. It's not like this is brand new and you're trying to impress people. This is what you do. And you've been doing it for a very long time. And I think that speaks volumes to what you guys are doing. And I'm so glad you're here. Just so glad. So it's been so much fun getting to know you. And I can't wait to work with you in the future. It's going to be amazing. I know I feel like I've kept you here for a while, so I'm so sorry. I've been like all around the world today, but was there anything else you wanted to mention personally that I have not? touched on today?
No, not really. I think we've touched
I
on
feel like
everything. Other than I just absolutely community is huge. Community
It is.
is huge, and so a little bit to add. Of course, you know why we chose to come here. The opportunity came up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
but we wouldn't have just moved anywhere
Right.
for an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
like this. But when we came to
Mm-hmm.
kind of test things out, to see,
Mm-hmm.
ride around the
Yeah.
community and all, the quaintness of it
Mm-hmm.
is lovely. And being an agent in Albany, Georgia, Daugherty County, with Farm Bureau, it was great. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a much larger
Mm-hmm.
town than what we have here.
Yeah.
And Camden County is very spread out, but
Mm-hmm.
small. And I knew that being so community focused
Mm-hmm.
and truly, I thrive off of people
Mm-hmm.
and off of community and
Mm-hmm.
supporting as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. And I knew I'd be able to build relationships and
Yeah.
deepen those relationships so easy here. And that was important to me.
But it's a testament to you getting involved, because you can just come here, just go to church, just go to eat, these kind of things, and not get truly involved. But you
That's
have
right.
gotten involved, and like you've put you put yourself out there, and it takes a lot to do that. Not everybody can do that. So I appreciate you just coming in and loving us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it makes it so easy to love you. So I'm so glad you're here. And
We're
yeah.
happy. We have 2 boys,
Mm-hmm.
and of course at the school, one at St. Mary's Middle and the other in 10th grade.
Okay.
And I ask them often, do you still like it?
Yeah.
And they weren't super excited about the move because
Yeah.
it was a hard year for them. But
Yeah.
if we were going to make the move, it was the time to do it,
Mm-hmm.
the best time to do it. And they absolutely love it. So
That's amazing to hear. Yay.
it's all the pieces have come together, and it's been wonderful.
Awesome.
And people make it even
They do.
more.
I tell other people all the time, like, I love these people will be in my life the rest of my life, no matter where we are. Like, they're just salt of the earth people, and I love it. Well, thank you thank you for being here. We appreciate it so much, and we can't wait to get to know you more. All right, guys, that is it for episode 45 of the Getting in Your Business podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.